Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
A woman came to me in deep distress. The man she loved had left her for other women, and said he never intended to marry her. She was torn with jealousy and resentment, and said she hoped he would suffer as he had made her suffer, and added, "How could he leave me when I loved him so much?" I replied, "You are not loving that man, you are hating him," and added, "You can never receive what you have never given. Give a perfect love, and you will receive a perfect love. Perfect yourself on this man. Give him a perfect, unselfish love, demanding nothing in return. Do not criticize or condemn, and bless him wherever he is." She replied, "No, I won't bless him unless I know where he is," she said. "Well," I said, "that is not real love. When you send out real love will return to you, either from this man or his equivalent. For if this man is not the divine selection, you will not want him. As you are one with God, you are one with the love which belongs to you by divine right." Several months passed, and matters remained about the same, but she was working conscientiously with herself. I said, "When you are no longer disturbed by his cruelty, he will cease to be cruel, as you are attracting it through your own emotions." Then I told her of a brotherhood in India, who never said good morning to each other. They used these words, "I salute the divinity in you." They saluted the divinity in every man and in the wild animals in the jungle, and they were never harmed, for they saw only God in every living thing. I said, "Salute the divinity in this man and say, I see your divine self only. I see you as God sees you, perfect, made in his image and likeness."
Man, that's enough. Florence Scovel Shin. Listen. You can't see the God in you, you're going to be fearful of others. What does that mean, Zoe? Yeah, if you can't see the God in yourself, you won't be able to see the God in them. If you don't see the God in them, you can definitely ascertain the danger in them. You can ascertain the fear in them. Why? You can ascertain everything in them that is within you. If you can't see the God in you, what can you see? Most of the times people, can we just be honest? Most of the times people are frightened of the truth about themselves. And I mean shaking in their boots. The type of thoughts you have, how you view yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you label yourself, how you critique and criticize and judge yourself. A lot of times people don't even want to talk about none of that. I don't want to deal with that. See, that's what solitude is actually for, right? And when you reach a certain level of consciousness, you come out into the world as a new magnet, right? Because you've shifted. See, you just don't have the capacity to keep doing what you've been doing because you're not getting the results you desire. Do you see? That's where, never mind. I'm not dating nobody no more. The avoidant biohack. Using neuroplasticity to delete your need for love. Secure attachment as neurological luxury for those with trauma-free templates. Vanderklok. Here's your empirical hook. The neurofeedback studies showing avoidance rewiring anterior cingulate cortex to dismiss bonding cues. I don't even want to see the cues. Philosophical insight. Nietzsche's will to power corrupted into relational nihilism. See, we don't really want love. Why? Because most of us didn't model it. If you don't model it, it's an external threat. Do you understand? We're talking about it tonight, and it's a powerful conversation tonight on why people are single or choosing to be single. I'm saying if you're choosing to be single because you're unhealed, you're choosing solitary confinement. If you're choosing solitary, or if you're choosing to be single because you're healed, right? You're a monk, right? Right? You're in the mountains somewhere, right? And that's fine. You can choose to be single as a healed person, away from it all. Fine. If that's your choice, that's your choice. But if you're doing it to not engage, you're basically a relationship dropout. Dating apps as Skinner boxes, operant conditioning humanity into permanent singlehood. Your psychological bend here is variable ratio reinforcement per Skinner, turning swiping into gambling addiction. Swipe left, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. Match Group's internal data showing 78% of users experience decision fatigue within 3 months. Right? That's crazy. Digital disembodiment, severing sacral chakra's link to relational vitality. It's a struggle to be in a relationship when you don't know what relationship is. Relationship is not just paying the bills together and having kids and maintaining the house and event planning for the holidays. Relationships are more than that. Relationships are the place you go to, right, to find out more about you. I've used the analogy. The university of you is you're enrolled into that university when you get into an intimate relationship. The masochism of safety. How the fear of happiness fuels singlehood. Here's your psychological insight. DSM-5's avoidant personality disorder, redefined as culturally rewarded self-protection. Prospect theory, Kahneman, proving singles overestimate relational pain versus joy. Buddhism, the Buddhist concept of dukkha, misapplied. Avoiding attachment, becoming attachment to avoidance. Man, you're attached to avoidance? My goodness, we got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Why are you single? I want to know. Attila, Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Shall listen.
How about attached to avoidance? What we not going to do? I see you taking shots at the avoidance.
I'm not taking shots.
You know my gang, FA, we don't play that, but
now
it's cool.
It's a gang. Don't make it a gang. Of all things, don't. It's not a gang. Come on now.
I mean, okay, so the reason why I'm bringing that up, though, for real, is something that kind of got me thinking. This is reminding me of the single by choice movement, which I feel is more like a myth. It's like you and I talked about earlier. You said it's actually single by control. And I was like, ooh, hold on.
Not single by choice.
Hold on.
Single by control.
Single by control.
Ooh.
And I would even add this, because the whole idea behind this like movement or whatever social media thing is the idea that you're choosing to be single because, for whatever reason, your prospects or situations didn't work out. And I'm like, is it really single by choice if you feel life has given you no choice? Like, that's just like a weird...
No,
like,
no, but you bring up such a salient point here. The arrogance to say there are no good suitors. As if the other side of the coin have all passed the relationship bar.
Right.
Like, is something wrong with you, lady? Ain't no good choices. I'm be by myself. Come on now.
The men's is too now. Don't forget, it be some hurt.
All I'm saying is, I don't hear men in general saying there are no good choices in women. I hear men criticizing women. I hear men putting women down. Oh, of course. But I also don't see men saying there are no good women. I just don't hear that.
Well, they're not going to say that directly. They're going to say something along the lines of all women do this, or women don't take accountability.
Agreed.
Or you're saying the same thing. That's the exact same thing. It's just differently worded in a way that maybe is a lot less
I'll give you that. I can
polarizing.
smoke a bag of that. Yeah, I can
But you're saying the same thing, right?
Okay.
Like, either way, if you say women don't take accountability, where have you taken accountability? And if you have, why aren't you attracting a partner that does that?
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But I see it as we're both the problem.
For sure. No, for sure. I'm just saying, like, whatever argument either side wants to make, if I understand correctly the concept of relationship as a mirror, then I know that whatever I complain about this man is the exact same thing that I'm doing. I'm doing it maybe in a different form, but I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm complaining about him.
Listen, so I talk to you often, and
every day. Yeah,
I tell you about my daughter, and she's clock it. She does that new little thing that all of the young ladies do now. Clock it. People in the chat room trying to clock me. Can I do my? Listen, if I'm
not trying to clock you, hold on. Let me look at the comments.
Listen. Let me play the antagonist for a moment. They clocking me playing the antagonist with you. I'm supposed to be. Listen. I'm gonna show y'all how to do radio. I gotta be the antagonist in some area. Get her turned up the same way. My niece will send me videos that I don't look at until I listen, here live with you, and she's doing it to get a rise out of me. So now that I'm doing it to her.
Yes. It's intellectual sparring, period.
Yeah,
period, point blank.
They trying to clock me because I took the other side.
Oh, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I know how you operate just as an individual, as a person. And obviously, I'm not going to say this just because you're my uncle, but I feel like in terms of what I have learned from you and how you operate, I think that you are very rare as a man. I'm just going to put it out there. You are a rare individual.
That's what you wasn't supposed to do that. No.
You are, for real.
Nah.
I think your ability to for real though, but your ability to self-reflect, but also be able to see, the humanity in other people and make room and space for that is very rare. I say that because that is why we're having the issues that we're having, because we're not appreciating each other's humanity, right? Like,
wait.
Most people are tired, huh?
Wait. Cali Soul says, yeah, that's what I'm not about to say. There's no good no good ones out here. I have zero problems finding the good ones. Just tend to
Right.
listen. She's basically saying there's good ones out here, and I believe there's good ones on both sides of the fence. But you got people quitting the game altogether because they're tired, they're fatigued. They want somebody to come in and clean up their internal mess. Nobody's going to do that.
Well, they need to quit.
Ooh.
They need to quit. If your perspective is that someone needs to be my relationship janitor, then you need to quit.
Wow, a relationship
even if
janitor?
It's temporary. Even if it's temporary, like if your concept of love is someone essentially cleaning up after you, not holding you accountable, not putting you in a space of reflection and honestly like just moving forward, elevating, if that's not what you want, if that's not what you're trying to do, and you can't do that for another person, then you probably do need to quit. I mean, that might sound harsh, but everything ain't for everybody. And I hate to say it, everybody is not invested in moving forward, and they're just not honest about it. Like it's like that woman was saying the other day about when she was reflecting on Tracy Ellis Ross. You don't want it that bad. You do not want your intellectual, spiritual, mental freedom that bad. You want comfort. You want, yachts. You want fine dinners. You want that's what you want. And it's okay to say that that's what you want. I feel like personally, because that's their karma and their situation that they have to work out. I have my own journey. So if that's what you want, cool. But I think we should just be a little bit more honest about it.
Man, but you know what I think about that whole thing? I think she just wants the lifestyle that she has. She's free. She's doing what she wants to do. She doesn't want to answer to anybody. She doesn't want to. Would you say she's based on the clip? Because I don't know her. This is all alleged. But based on the clip, it just sounds like she just wants to do her without having to do what you need to do in order to make a relationship sustainable and healthy, right? Which is you got to compromise. You got to tap in with your partner. You got to make sure they good. And it seems like that is the problem, or why she's single, or why she chooses to date younger. I'm just I don't know, but I would date her.
Lord have mercy. I mean, listen. Do you, man? Do you? I thought you said no more avoidance, but it's cool.
Is she avoidant? Yeah, she is giving.
She's giving avoidant to be, like, based on what she said, because there's that desire to be close, but not being willing to do the work to actually be close.
Who be carrot dangling? You listen. People in the chat are coming for me tonight. Callie Soul said he be carrot dangling. Don't.
Ooh, Auntie Callie, girl, you just gotta call in because I want to hear your lovely voice on the radio anyway. I like Unc needs somebody to just stand eye to eye because I'm niece. You know what I'm saying? It's different. I'm niece.
So listen. We got to come forward, but guess what? You just
I brought
did.
Houston in the building.
You already know what it is. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 Days and Counting, you missed an evening of reverence, reflection, and reality.
You gotta live in the reality because this is it. Every day. You wake up, is this my life? Don't stay in denial, because yes it is. Don't stay in bargaining, where you're praying for a miracle, and if it wouldn't have happened, then this is what I would have done. It did.
Our panel participants kept it real. Really real.
I think, number one, it's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
La ciudad respirando. Escúchela.
The new moon rode high in the crown of the metropolis, shining like who on top of this? People was tussling, arguing and bustling. Gangsters of Gotham, hardcore hustling. I'm wrestling with words and ideas. My ears is pricked, seeking what will transmit. The scribes can apply the transcript. Yo, this ain't no time where the usual is suitable. Tonight alive, let's describe the inscrutable, the indisputable. We New York, the narcotics, draped in metal and fiber optics, where mercenaries is paid to trade hot stock tips for profits. Thirsty criminals dig pockets, hard knuckles on the second hands of working class watches. Skyscrapers is colossus, the cost of living is preposterous. Stay alive, you pay or die, no options. No Batman and Robin, can't tell between the cops and the robbers. They both partners, they all heartless, with no conscience. Back streets stay darkened, while unbelieving hearts stay hardened. My ego talent stay sharpened, like city lights stay throbbing. You either make a way or stay sobbing. The shiny apple is bruised but sweet, and if you choose to eat, you can lose your teeth. Many crews retreat, nightly news repeat. Who got shot down, the lockdown, spotlight the savages, NASDAQ averages.
You might say, well, why should I trust when I could get hurt? And that's a good question. You trust when you're naive because you don't know you can get hurt. And that's not ethical. That's not moral. It's not laudable. It's just naivety. Once you know you can be hurt, you trust as a courageous decision, knowing that if you trust someone, you can bring out the best in them, and knowing that if you don't, you'll never see it. So it's a calculated risk. And it's an intelligent, calculated risk designed to move you and the other person to the best. So you can tell yourself that I'm going to take a risk. I might get hurt, but I'm going to take a risk, knowing it's a risk. It's a reasonable risk. Don't be a fool, but it's a reasonable risk. And remember that you have some reason to be afraid of intimacy and closeness, but you should also see both of those as positives on your side. To be intimate with someone means that you can share your thoughts with them and think things through with them, and you can share your triumphs and your disappointments and all of that. You broaden out your life. You broaden out your ability to solve problems. You increase the probability, all things considered, that you're going to remain sane, because two people who are communicating are generally saner than one person who is only thinking by themselves. So you don't want to deprive yourself of that, even though it's somewhat dangerous to be hooked up with someone. The thought of a man taking care of me and having to cede some of my control to create room for that scares me. Well, you got to think about how you've posed those questions. Cede some of your control. Well, are you sure that's what a relationship is about? Are you sure it's about ceding control? I mean, because there's an idea there that the relationship is going to be based on power.
Listen, Jordan Peterson was cooking with the rarest grease, and he clearly and succinctly connected trust to fear. He says, when you're young, you don't know. There's naivete. Oh, man, get in this relationship, it's going to work, you get hurt. Wow. But because of that experience, trust becomes the foundation of relationships moving forward. You've been a prisoner your whole life. I keep telling people, trust is fear. And all of the great sages of the world will tell you, love and fear can't coexist in the same space at the same time. You want love, but you trust fear. This is why being by yourself makes sense. Oh, I've been hurt multiple times, over and over again. I keep getting hurt. Wow, I keep attracting a certain type of... Whoa, wow. Never mind. Do you see? Fear and trust are synonymous in this context. Very powerful stuff. Let's get Davey Lee in here for our final 3 minutes here. Davey Lee, what up?
I call it 3 minutes. Hey, God bless. What's happening with y'all?
I love Davey Lee.
Well, y'all been cooking, man. You feel me? This a whole gumbo. This a good meal. You hear me? So I'm feeling it. But I personally think I'm alone because of me not putting in the work as a child, man. It's just more people were more in tune with, communication and stuff like that. Being in a community, being like, I was always by myself. Even as my parents, I just always been like this. And I think it's a blessing and a curse because, you just got to balance certain things out. I don't mind relationships, but I ain't trying to be broke forever, man. You see what they doing with the middle class. I got to do some of my life or it's over. But, personally, me, man, it's just about how you learn with people, man. It's a learning process, just like going to school. Life like school, just like I used to say back in the day. So you got to figure things out with people, man. Make a middle ground. Build that bridge.
But wait, Davey, don't you have to figure it out with yourself first?
Of course, but that's a part of life. You're going to figure it out with yourself regardless if you just keep moving through the motions. It may be like on some crash type stuff, but, sometimes you got to crash, man. It's just how it go.
Do you want to crash, though?
Not for stupidity, but, you're going to fall in the bump road. You're going to fall into, little problems, bro. So it is what it is. You just got to figure it out and work with it.
But have you ever just taken a hiatus? Like, I'm just going to quit for a little while and figure myself out. Have you ever done that? Save that thought. When we come forward, we're going back to Arkansas to get the thoughts of my good friend Davey Lee, and then we're going down to Jacksonville, Florida.
Breathe in, inhale vapors from bright stars that shine. Breathe out, we smoke, retrace the skyline. Heard the bass ride out like an ancient mating call. I can't take it, y'all. I can feel the city breathing, chest heaving against the flesh of the evening. Sigh before it died like the last train leaving.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Iden with 4 things you should know on the Black Information Network. A permanent memorial for those killed in the Bourbon Street terror attack is coming to the French Quarter to preserve the memory of those impacted by the New Year's Day tragedy. A Catholic group is calling for the censure of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was called out by the Catholic League after she posted on social media that evil was being defeated by the hand of God, allegedly in reference to the death of Pope Francis. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation has revoked dealer licenses for 35 auto dealers statewide following investigations into illegal activity. Violations included selling directly to consumers and operating without a required security bond. The grandson of Jimmy Carter isn't expected to be on the ballot for governor in Georgia next year. Former State Senator Jason Carter said this week he doesn't plan to run for the seat. I'm Mike Island on your home for Black News First, the Black Information Network.
Since the dawn of baseball, countless players have heard the call of destiny. Witness the heroes of the game in ballparks nationwide. Get your tickets today at MLB.com/tickets. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
A lot of people are afraid that they're going to get into another relationship, that they're going to get close to someone, that person's going to hurt them. But their experience has shown them in the past that when someone hurt them like that, they didn't necessarily have the strength to walk away. They didn't necessarily have the strength to rebuild themselves. You know, I had a woman come to me and she said, she had children from a previous marriage and her husband cheated on her. And she said, I find it difficult to trust in the next thing. I said, but you eventually left, right? You're not who you were 7 years ago where you found out and then stayed for 7 years. You're who you are today who actually had the strength to leave. And understanding that is the key to self-trust. We've learned how to deal with certain situations. We've learned how to walk away faster. We've learned how to spot red flags. So it's not like we have to worry, are they going to cheat on me? Are they going to do that? Well, they might. You don't trust that someone's never going to betray you. You just trust that you'll be able to handle it if they do, that you'll be able to walk away.
Don't be scared. Singlehood for the unhealed is incarceration. Fear of the outside, fear of connection, fear of intimacy, fear of not having trust, fear of scarcity. But when you are healed, right, that isolation becomes a type of chrysalis where one gets to retreat to and recharge, regenerate, heal, expand, grow, understand. For many people, relating is a burden, but it is compounded. That burden is compounded by the fact that many people just simply refuse to look at themselves, take accountability, start the journey of healing. And there's, varying arguments on when does the healing stop? When do the lessons stop? Well, you're going to have to pass some lessons. And guess what? I can't, as your partner, I can't give you a grade for the work you've done on a lesson. Only you can. You're the teacher and the pupil within the lesson that was given to you, whatever that lesson may be. But it's up to you to accept it, embrace it without judgment, embrace yourself without judgment. If the reason you're single is the remnants of, an attachment style you may have developed. Because guess what? You can start out with a particular attachment style. It might be insecure. It might be secure. And you can date someone of an insecure attachment style and be pulled insecure. So do you understand what I'm saying? That solitude for the healed, for the person that is healing, for the person that is elevating. That solitude goes with them wherever they are. They can be in solitude amongst people. At a party. They could be, you understand what I'm saying? How many of you are fatigued when you get home because you were around people? Like, I'm telling you, when you're healed, the solitude travels with you wherever you go. When you're unhealed, the solitude becomes your favorite pillow. I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to get into bed and get away from people. There's a thing out there called bed rotting. It's a real thing. People retreat home because that's the safest place they know. Now, would I be wrong for saying you should be the safest place you know? Well, we got callers. Let's get them in here. Davey Lee, I want to get your final thought. Please answer that question I asked you before we came forward. Now that we've come full circle, I'm waiting to hear what you have to say.
Okay, it was about being in solitude, right? For healing yourself and all that good deal, right?
Yeah, I just explained it just so you could have that framing. Yeah. Have you ever done it?
Amazing. I mean, I think I've been in that process my whole life, man, to be honest. But
your whole life?
To be real, it's something. For the majority of my life, I started, just dating and stuff later on in life, just because, I was shook up, it was scary, man. Hey. It is what it is.
Hey man, I love Davey Lee. Man, I was scary. I didn't start dating until later because I was scared. What was you scared of, brother? What were you scared of?
Me not being able to face myself since I got burns and stuff. It's just me being picked on. Not being at ease with myself, bro. It just made it rougher than what it would for my little brother. He more social, so he do what he do. It ain't nothing because he always into it.
Let me ask you this. What type of people did you attract because of how you felt about yourself? When you say, I'm unsure of myself, what type of women did you attract?
People who like me but not interested enough to really try me like that unless it's sexual. They do a little sexual sneak dissing type stuff. I don't know, man. It's like it's always, I don't know, I can peep it, man. I can read body language well. Some people look engaged with me, but it ain't nothing that I'm interested in like that. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I just like talking to folks, man, getting to know them, dog.
Well, what is it that you're looking for? You looking for that special lady, that one special?
There's too many special ladies, man. It's 1 billion people on this planet, man. Too many of them.
Oh, yeah. So wait a minute.
I'm trying to get to know myself.
You still trying to get to know yourself. You insecure within yourself, but you want to spread that around a little bit, don't you?
No, I don't. I just want to meet new people and learn new things. That come with life.
I love this,
all types of things come with life, but this world's vast, man. I'm trying to travel.
No, I love it, brother. I understand you, man. Davey out here putting it in. I got you, Davey. Hey, guess what you just did, brother?
Well, I brought y'all to Arkansas, man.
We back in Arkansas. We appreciate you bringing us out to the sticks. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call your brother Zoe Williams, man, and I'll be ready to talk to you. Listen, when we come forward, guess who I'm talking to? Mimi from Jacksonville. Let's go to Jacksonville.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hi, I'm Joe Montaigne. Let's talk about veteran homelessness, because it's not just a housing issue, it's a human issue. Right now, we need LA property owners to open their doors and give veterans a safe place to call home. With guaranteed rent and dedicated support, you can be part of the solution. Learn how you can help. Email houseourvets@lacity.org.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha, Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
And the other problem is fear. Again, this is the common ground of all mankind. Whether you are living in a small house or in a palace, whether you have no work or have plenty of work, whether you have tremendous knowledge about everything on earth, whether you are a priest, whether you are a highest representative of God or whatever it is, there is still this deep-rooted fear in all mankind. That's a common ground on which all humanity stands.
Hey, man, I don't know. I don't know how that made you feel. There would be nobody in that field. Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle, everybody you love, Wayne Dyer. Krishnamurti was groundbreaking. He's the one who started all of this. What's my good brother, Michael Beckwith? All of them feed from the fountain of Krishnamurti. Let's not minimize Murti's impact. Did you hear what he said? The foundational ground that all humanity stands on is fear. That now ask yourself, I'm not going through that again. Isn't that a mantra by now? Like a spiritual mantra. I'm not going through that again. Relationship dropouts. Let me get Mimi from Jacksonville in here. Mimi, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, Zoe. Hey, everyone.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey.
Hey, Zoe.
What up, Jacksonville?
Yes, I'm just blessed to have a beautiful voice, and I thank God for it every single day.
It is a beautiful voice.
Thank you. I think tonight's show is really wonderful. It's been some great points. You and Atala, the conversation you were talking about, being healed and unhealed, and Davy Lee brought out some points at the end, something about the seed. Y'all know what you said, and that's what you said. It's a mixture. I think for me, I'm single because
you
at
fed
this
up?
point, well, I dip in and out of Disneyland. I mean, sometimes I dip in and out of Disneyland. I mean, I live in reality, but sometimes I want this romantic, just like we're going out all the time. We're doing this, and it's beautiful. We're having dinners, and it's just, picnics and all that stuff. But I live in reality, and life is life. And after my last relationship, I was like, you know what? I just need to focus on me more. And I am doing that. But honestly, I do want love in my life. I want a man that is on the same page as far as he's growing, he's learning, he's working on himself. Y'all are just nasty.
But wait, Mimi,
y'all are just nasty.
You making some great points, but the voice is buttery. It's like it's melting into all areas. It's a wonderful thing. But let me come back. Let me
control your thing.
You said the relationship is you like. I got to step back and I got to start focusing on me. But I'm here to push back a little bit. I believe when women are in relationships, they are focused on themselves.
Well, of course you would say that, though.
But do you disagree with that notion?
No, I don't. But, when you're in a relationship as a woman, sometimes you lose yourself because you love that man, you want to be with him, you want to nurture and cater to him, and you lose yourself a bit. You really do. So you lose focus on yourself.
I love this.
And then when things fall apart, you come back, I got to come back to me now.
Atala said we women initially tend to be focused on y'all. That's what she said.
That is so true. And if everything is good in the bedroom, we're really even more. I mean, if everything's clicking, it's just him. I want him. I got to make him happy.
So wait, now you done hit on something else. Are you now saying when you're at your best in the relationship is when you are self-forgetful?
I don't like that word, but yes.
Listen, it ain't about you being comfortable. We uncomfortable listening to you. Oh, hey, I love this call. And you got to call in more often. We love your voice. Can we play Marvin Gaye's I Want You as her outro?
And before you do that, can I just ask a really big favor of you?
Sure.
Please watch the whole podcast with Michelle Obama and Tracy Ellis Ross. You may have a different perspective.
I probably will. I love Tracy. I'm not against her. I'm all for what she's for. I just need to be in the same place.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Guess what you just did?
You just nasty. I brought Jacksonville, Florida in the house. Y'all are just nasty boys.
We love it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, Mila from Memphis, you got to call back. I was going to have you as my nightcap. Andy in here rolling. Mila, was that her name? Mila? Mila from Memphis. We had Memphis, Tennessee in the building. Listen, all right, now that we don't have her, let's just understand this, though. For a lot of people, like we talked about, we have fun tonight. Of course, that was a great call with Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. We love it. We love it. We love it. But the reality of it is relationships are hard when you're self-avoidant. I'm coining that, right? Of course, it's born out of Jung's work. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid looking at themselves. I'm labeling it self-avoidant. If you go single, if you become a relationship dropout as a self-avoidant, which means looking at oneself, going in, this is what the solitude is for. Unpacking things that hurt from the past, deep-seated issues, childhood wounds, whatever it might be. If you lean into the self-avoidance, it's definitely, singlehood can definitely be a prison, because say an avoidant in Bowlby's framework, avoidants internally want the opposite of how they behave. Just like APs, anxious preoccupied, they want the opposite of how they behave. They might be chasing somebody and want love and want approval and want that, but internally they're self-avoidant. They don't want to do the work, right? Dismissive avoidance, DAs, are the opposite. Internally, they want intimacy. They want it. Externally, it's a threat. Do you see the cognitive dissonance? Do you see the misalignment there? See, if you're self-avoidant, I'm not doing the work, singlehood is going to be a problem. Singlehood often masquerades as freedom while functioning as a self-imposed prison camp. Society frames solitude as either a sacred act of self-love or a pathological failure to bond. Yet, these binary obscure a deeper truth. Choosing singlehood frequently reflects a hyper-vigilant dance between trauma and transcendence, control and surrender, echoing Krishnamurti's warning that the observer is the observed. To dismantle this paradox, one must interrogate how spiritual bypassing, neurological rewiring, and capitalist coercion conspire to make modern solitude both a refuge and a prison. When individuals declare themselves married to the divine, per Dr. David R. Hawkins, they often conflate enlightenment with emotional stasis. Spiritual bypassing here mirrors the avoidant attachment patterns that Patrick Carn talked about when he observed in his work called trauma bonding, right? Both groups reject messy human entanglement to preserve a fragile sense of control. So many people, what is it? Many people are not choosing singlehood by choice. They're choosing it for control. Listen, I started the conversation. It's really up to you to finish it. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back tomorrow on my Friday with another slapper. Deuces!